Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Beer Estate. Today, we're at basically our founding brewery where we started this whole idea, Four Peaks Brewery, 8th Street Pub, located behind the Phoenix Rock Gym. They provided us a private little space to have a quiet place to record this today. Our server's been amazing. Every time I come here once a week pretty much. It's a great place to come. One of the most popular beers in Arizona, and you can see the Four Peaks range from the city.
Right out in Northeast Valley.
So it's a great place to come, great place for community, and a lot of breweries, sometimes the food isn't as amazing as you'd want it to be. Four Peaks, great food, great brews, just overall like an awesome brewery located right here in Tempe, and it's kind of hidden, right?
It's hidden, but I think all of the breweries that are in the greater Phoenix area owe something to Four Peaks Brewery, because Four Peaks Brewery is what put microbrews in the Phoenix area on the map. You know, this is the largest brewery. I mean, they got acquired, obviously, was it Coors or Anheuser? One of them. They acquired them, but it still has that local brewery feel to it. The beer is great, atmosphere even better. And you can't ask for anything more from something that's here locally in the Tempe neighborhood.
Yeah. Soundtrack is awesome too. That thing that you just talked about Coors or Anheuser-Busch or a larger brewing corporation that has an awesome distribution network. I'm from Oregon, and we have a lot of microbrews out there too. We were, definitely a focal point for microbrews in the early 2000s. But Anheuser-Busch, Coors, and a lot of other people have bought out these smaller breweries. Hop Valley. There's a bunch of different breweries that have been bought out, but they allow them to maintain their management and their brewing styles and their recipes, which is really nice. That's like a super positive part of it, and they just allow them to open up their distribution network, which I think is dope.
Exactly. It's how you can be up in the Northwest or Midwest, back east, and get some kill lifter.
Exactly.
So,
or some Deschutes Brewery,
exactly.
Black Butte Porter.
Yep. Exactly.
But today we're at Four Peaks Brewing. We're going to get right into our beer review here.
Since we have a flight here, there's so many beers to choose from at Four Peaks, and they're such high quality beers. We wanted to do a flight today. So, Jake, why don't you talk a little bit about what we have?
They got 4 brand new beers. They got a Chernivtsi, which is, I believe, part of the proceeds go to Ukraine. They have a Pride Hazy, which is proudly brewed. It's a tropical fruit-infused hazy IPA brewed for and with Arizona's LGBTQIA+ community. The ABV is 6.5%, so it's an awesome beer. It'll get you a little drunk. It tastes a little fruity. I like to compare it to like the Blue Van, because the Blue Van has Big Blue Van has sort of a Fruit Loopy taste. This has a very tropical taste. So let's get you on that.
I'm a fan of Big Blue Van.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Big Blue Van too. So that's the second one here.
Second
Go ahead
one,
and
that's
grab
this one,
right? It's this one. Yeah. She threw it backwards maybe.
All right.
Servers.
Which one are you gonna try?
I'm gonna do the Chernivtsi.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Definitely get that fruity flavor mixed in with that IPA.
Yeah. It's nice, right?
It is. The hoppiness isn't overpowering with this. Yeah, I can enjoy this. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's sort of like the Big Blue Van, right? A little bit.
Yeah, sort of.
Big Blue Van is more lagery. This is definitely more hazy.
Yeah.
If your friends are like, I don't really like beer, I don't know, should I go to a brewery? Take them here, get them the Pride Hazy. They're gonna love it. It's gonna be amazing. The Chernivtsi, their description here is, we're doing our part to help the people of Ukraine by offering this Ukrainian lager. Brewed by our partners, this crisp European-style brew will help our coalition donate more than $5 million to aid efforts. Not AIDS efforts, aid efforts. ABV is 4.8%, so it definitely has a lagery feel to it. It has that nice crispness, a little bit of sour, and it's nice. It's a nice light beer if you're trying to come in here in the middle of the summer. We have 2 more beers here, and we're going from light to dark. So the Chernivtsi is light, 4.8. The Pride Hazy is 6.5, a little bit heavier. Then we got the Kumbaya. Kumbaya is a light, crisp, light-bodied, hop-forward with minimal bitterness. Melon papaya with hints of lemon and lime. Collab with the Shop Beer Co. Proceeds go to ALS research. So that's awesome. And the ABV is the highest out of all 3 of these at 7.4%.
All right.
And finally, we have an anise-infused cask kilt lifter. So kilt lifter is their main brew. It's one of their most famous ones. You can find it in the stores here. And the kilt lifter is a malt-forward Scottish ale with flavors of roasted barley and caramel. ABV is about 6%. So you get that cask aged with anise, star anise. So you're going to feel a little bit of licoricey here. Let's go ahead and try these.
All right.
All right.
Barrel aged. Down the hatch.
Kumbaya.
Definitely has a licorice taste. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
In case you didn't realize, it's not served cold. This is going to be served more or less room temperature. It helps take out, have some of those flavors a little bit more dominant when it's served at this temperature. If it were cold, you're not going to get the experience that you're going to have with drinking this, warm or room temperature.
Okay. I really want to try that. I've tried all 3 of these.
It's good. Give it a whirl.
You can finish these off if you want. No, but I'll. And the Kumbaya is probably my favorite. It's got the highest alcohol content, and it's nice and it's chill. Like it's a chill beer. Highest alcohol content, but a chill beer. That's what I would describe it as. Yeah.
All right, give it a whirl.
And you can smell the anise just with the kilt lifter in mind. Okay, that is very good. If you don't like,
this is my favorite so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that. And if you're expecting a nice cold beer, that's not what you're going to get with the Nice Kilt Lifter Cask Aged. But that's a good beer. Probably the most complex out of all.
Give me a steak with that beer. Seriously.
Give me a steak, some caramelized onions, some sauteed mushrooms. Ooh, nice black pepper sauce. Sounds good.
There
to
it
me.
is, right there.
So that's
what are we talking about today?
That's our beer review of the day. We're not going to drink all this because we'll probably be pretty wasted at the end of that flight. So we're going to go into some market stats today because our market has been insane here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Almost 200% or over 200% over, 150% over the last 2 months. And we're sitting pretty at 11,700 homes on the market in the residential resale market.
Yeah, so our inventory has really grown. Part and due is because we've had so many continual months of appreciation.
Yeah.
The other part is interest rates have risen continually. Right now we're hovering right around like 5.5%. Okay, we haven't seen that in quite a while here nationally. So what happens is you're going to have just your inventory just continually rise. And it's really, we're looking at the stats here, guys. For the last 2 months, we've had our inventory rise. However, the absorption rate is still under a month and a half. So it's not like homes are staying on the market for 6 months. We're not there yet. Could we get there? I mean, if interest rates continue to rise and, first-time buyers are still priced out of the market, it could very well happen. But we're not there right now. I do expect that our inventory is going to continue to rise, though.
Yeah.
We're 11,700. I think we're going to jump probably, I think we're going to jump to above 12,000 by the end of the weekend.
So we have a bet going, and I'll post this in the description. But he's betting it's going to be under 12,000?
Over. We'll be over 12.
He's saying over the weekend, because Friday's a huge listing day, that over the weekend, come Monday or Tuesday when this episode gets shot out, we're going to be over 12,000 homes in the residential resale market in regards to active or coming soon. I believe it'll. I don't think it's going to go up that much because we have seen similar levels in October of last year. Sorry, there was just a freak lightning storm in the background.
We got spirits around.
Yeah, seriously, this place is haunted in a good way, like Casper. But I think it's going to be under 12,000. I think that this is sort of a breaking through point. You know how I'm not even going to bring that up, but I think it's a breaking point. Like it's sort of a ceiling point, and if we get past that, it's going to mean a lot for the market. But right now, I think overall we're normalizing, but we're not at a normal market yet.
Yeah, you really need to see probably some cooling off with interest rates before you're going to start to see a market really where the activity is going to happen. If interest rates continue to rise, those fence sitters are going to stay on the fence. They're definitely not going to just all of a sudden just jump in and start to try to purchase because their purchasing power has still decreased.
Yeah,
as those interest rates rise. But if we have continual months of we're not increasing interest rates, then we'll start to see where our market, how it's really going to react to it. So, and then that'll determine, hey, this is what sellers are going to need to do if they're trying to sell their house. Right now, I would say if you're a seller, you're trying to sell your house, you're still receiving, depending on where you're priced, you're still receiving offers I'm seeing where incentives are being offered. It's on the inspection. So we're giving concessions on inspections, whether it's price-wise or sellers are more willing to do more repairs to get the house sold.
Yep. Buyers are being much more aggressive with their price reduction. At least what I've seen in the market lately. I have a couple buyer clients right now. Much more aggressive in regards to price reductions or any sort of concessions. It's definitely flipping the script, so to say, and we haven't seen that in a long time.
Unless you're looking at new construction. New construction, they're giving incentives galore.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about maybe getting in on something that's brand new, now is probably the time to do it. A lot of people aren't necessarily realizing this yet, but there are incentives they're 5-figure incentives, meaning they're giving $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of incentives. I've even seen price reductions in new home communities. So that is big. If you want to take advantage of this, I would say strike now while the iron's hot.
Yeah, and the way that you can do that is by going to azhousingtrends.com, www.azhousingtrends.com, which is Mark's website here, because he is a new home specialist. And he'll
find you that spec home.
He'll find you that spec home. He'll find you the great deal, the incentives. And if you're going into a new home community without Mark, you're getting swindled, I want to say, because you don't have any representation. You don't have someone who's experienced with new home builders and what they're trying to do. And when you go in with Mark, you get a professional that knows the market, knows the new home market, knows some of the builders and marketeers out there and can really help you with your business. So if you're thinking about investing in a new home, you're a first-time buyer thinking about buying a new home, brand new built home, talk to Mark here.
You don't know what you don't know. And it's the only fault to that, statement there is not having somebody with you that knows how to ask the right questions to make sure you're getting the best value possible with the builder. It's there now.
You got to try this Chernivtsi.
Give it a whirl?
Yeah, it's really good.
It tastes kind of like just like a
regular
beer
lager. Yeah. Regular lager.
Yeah.
First time I've seen really collaboration at Four Peaks with the beers, where they bring other people in, like the Beer Shop Co., the Ukrainian brewers. They're bringing in other brewers to do collaborations, which is pretty cool as well.
Creative.
All that being said, so say the market has a big shift and
back to real estate.
Appreciation slows. We have some changes in the market, right? That's to be expected. Something that happened about, 13, 14 years ago? People
Roughly,
might remember.
It was 2009 was really where, 2008
Okay.
was really where people were starting to try to get into doing what we're going to be talking about, which is short sales.
Short sales and foreclosures. So, short sale, not a short sale. It's a very long process. Foreclosures, long process as well. In Arizona, we're a deed of trust state.
Yep.
So it actually makes it a little bit easier
I would say so, yes.
for banks and
Definitely, yeah.
to foreclose on you. So it makes it easier for them to take your asset away from you. In one way of not getting the big hit on your credit or trying to save your skin when you might be over leveraged is a short sale.
What is a short sale?
A short sale is where you get your notice of sale, and the bank.
What's a notice of sale?
Notice of sale is basically you get a notice of default first.
Okay.
From the bank,
How many days late?
Up to one. They could issue a notice of default immediately after your first missed payment.
State requirements 60 days.
Okay.
Okay. So state law says 60 days you have a notice of default.
Okay.
90 days late, so you haven't made your payment for 90 days. State law says you have a notice of trustee sale then. Okay?
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily, just because you're late you can be completely current on your note, on your loan, you can still do a short sale. Not going to happen in this market, but if things take a turn for the worse, and this is what happened in 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, was that what people owed was way up here, what you could sell for was way down here. Okay, so that gap there, that's where the short was.
Yeah.
And we're not there. A lot of people, it's what you owe is like here, and what you could probably sell for is up here.
Right.
So we're not there yet. Could it shift? Yeah, definitely could shift. There's things that are concerning. You hope doesn't happen. If you talk to any agent that's been around, we don't want to have to go back through and do short sales. It's always a part of a market, but that situation that we had back then, that was
Extreme.
It was very extreme. It dominated the market. You
Yeah.
know, it's not meant to be that.
Agents were literally
We don't like doing
in the
that.
market only doing short sales.
Yeah.
So you have a good story. So your first short sale took.
Okay, first short sale was with the nation's largest lender, and I did have another agent that was mentoring it with me. However, and this was true for majority of agents then, and this was I think 2008 or 9. It took us from start to finish. It took us over a year to have it completed. Not only did agents, we were kind of learning on the fly then, but banks were learning on the fly too. The loss mitigation departments in banks, it went from a department of maybe a few people to their largest departments nationwide.
They were highly understaffed.
Banks were trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, having this huge influx of people trying to get these properties sold as a short, and it just created a backlog.
Yeah.
And until everything kind of got caught up.
Strategic short sales on second properties and things like that as well.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of. If you don't know what a short sale is, we're not going to go in depth here. We're assuming that you have some base real estate knowledge. Look up YouTube. Look up what short sales are. If you need it, you need it. You might want to look into it now, especially if you're over leveraged.
In a nutshell, you got to sell. There's a hardship, and for what you can sell for is less than what you actually owe. So that's where the term the short is.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a time frame issue.
Yeah.
A lot of the times the short means that it's an extended process because there's some things that have to happen in order to get approval on it. And who
Right.
you know and how you're processing it too has a large play in how it's going to be processed.
Yep, it's true. So a lot of the times you have to partner with an attorney or a lawyer of some sort. We are not attorneys or lawyers. We cannot give legal advice. And when it comes to short sales, agents are there to help you, but they are going to refer you to the tax professionals, the legal professionals, and the other professionals that are going to give you professional advice in a professional manner.
You absolutely need to have an accountant and an attorney that specializes in real estate, not just a general attorney. You need a real estate-based attorney. If you don't have that, agents like Jake and myself, we do have people that we can refer out. It's not just one specific, CPA or attorney. We do have, stuff that you can choose from, but you're going to need that, because what happens when you get into the process on this is that certain banks definitely, 100% of the time, they will come in, they'll have certain language on there that they will try to have some sort of recourse for collecting that missing debt that they're having to short.
Basically, you have to go through the buyer, the seller, and you have to have the bank involved in that as well. And the bank has to approve the short sale.
It's the investor for the loan.
Yeah.
They're the ones that give the approval.
So it's a very complex topic. We dealt with it, or Mark dealt with it a lot in 2009, 2012. If you feel like you're in that situation, we might see an increase in that. So hit either one of us up. We can connect you with the right people.
Remember this episode, because it's not going to be anytime short. This is something that might be a ways down the road, hopefully, or never. Let's keep it at never.
I hope.
Be smart about your loans. All right. Be sensible about your budget. We understand things change with the economy. We know inflation's doing its own wild thing right now. Be smart about your money. If you're smart about your money, if you need to work on budgeting, we have people that we can connect you with that'll help you out with the budgeting side. But if down the road, remember this podcast, if we do get into that situation, you want to have an agent that's there, that's been through it, knows how to navigate those waters, because there were too many stories of back then when, sellers were thinking, okay, I'm good. I've sold my house. Yes, I did do it as a short sale. Next thing you know, they're getting hit with large bills, tax collections, anything.
So you need someone to negotiate with you. In a short sale, if you don't negotiate correctly and get all that debt forgiven, they can come and hit you back up 7 years later. Mm-hmm. So 7 years later, they're attacking your personal assets or something like that. In Arizona, a lot of people, this is the last thing I'll go into on this, the Homestead Act was increased from $150,000 to $250,000. Homesteading basically is supposed to protect your property.
Yes.
You've heard about homesteading in Alaska where they'll pay you and stuff like that. We have a Homestead Act. Most states do, especially out west. But one thing that Arizona has changed recently is that personal creditors like credit cards and other types of loans that aren't about
unsecured?
Your asset. I haven't even told you about this. But basically unsecured loans or lines of credit can put liens on your home. So if you're thinking about a short sale and you haven't done a title search yet, I would reach out to a title company. And we know a lot of title companies.
Oh yeah.
Great title companies that can tell you exactly who is leaning on your property. This is one of those situations where you don't want someone to lean on you. That was pretty much our only joke today.
Oh, way to finish with a dad joke.
I got one more dad joke, actually. So just keep that in mind. Lien holders can put liens on your real property for debts that you owe in your personal life. So keep that in mind. We can help you out with that situation. We can't give any legal advice, but I'll leave you with this joke. Mark, what do you call a river that's made some good investments and some bad investments?
What do you call it?
A wash. Now, that's a pretty ecological joke, so if you're not into ecology, you might not know. But thank you so much for joining us here at Four Peaks Brewery, located on a street in Tempe. You can Google it.
8th Street in Dorsey.
8th Street in Dorsey, that's right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Beer Estate. I'm Jake McCanny from Exit Realty.
I'm Mark McCarrick with Cactus Mountain Properties.
And we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, smash that, smash all those buttons. If you find us, like all of our videos. We need your help.
Keep watching the podcast.
Give us a recommendation.
Yeah.
Talk some crap. We want to get engagement from you. So hit us up. And thank you so much for tuning in once again to the Beer Estate Podcast. Have a great day, guys.